Good morning, Gloucester. Is GloucesterCast 295. We're 5 away from the big 300. Traci, Thayne, Corbett is here.
Yes, hi, Joe.
Ken Reihl is here.
Glad to be back.
And me. It's the three of us
Yoo-hoo!
today.
Holding down the fort today.
Very intimate.
Well, we got a big day. There's a lot going on. Schooner Fest, Parade of Sale.
Parade of Sale today.
There's lucky anybody at all is here right now.
It's
lucky you're
true.
here, Joey.
Well, that's where Kim is. That's where Pat Dalpiaz is.
That's where we're going.
That's where you guys are going. Yeah, it's like cricket. If you guys weren't here, it would be cricket. This is a huge week, though, and the weather has cooperated, and there's just been just enough wind, just enough clouds to make the photos really interesting. But the week this whole week, there's been so much that's happened. The mayor's reception. Did you guys go to the mayor's reception? Did I see you there at the mayor's down at the Heritage Center on Friday night?
Actually, no, I wasn't at that.
You weren't there? Did you go?
I was there. Yeah, we were setting up on the street for the block party, and then went down a little bit later. It was a great turnout, and as you say, the weather was perfect.
I don't know where the money comes for that, but because they're complimentary booze and shucked oysters and raw bar and everything.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of people. It was like a who's who was down there.
Yeah, Governor Baker was there. It was really nice to see him again. Of course, we had Bruce Tarr and the mayor
and Margaret.
A lot of dignitaries. It was great.
The Heritage Center is is a jewel for our city. I love. It's such a beautiful place, and the Schooner Festival. Every year, I feel like a broken record saying this over and over again, but it's one of these events that makes you so proud to live here and to be a part of this community. It's one of just another feather in our cap that makes this place so special.
Absolutely. And every year it seems to be bigger and better. 30 schooners this year. So to see them in the harbor, in about an hour from now is just going to be amazing.
I went to Beauport Hotel for lunch yesterday, and I just can't imagine the views from there for the Parade of Sale, and when they come out. I see what they're charging for rooms, and congratulations to them because they're packed and they're getting all the money, and they're bringing people with all the money here to spend all the money at our places. Yeah.
And we're happy that they do.
We love it.
Come on back.
Come on, keep coming and depositing dollars in our pockets.
Right, exactly.
I love it. But the mayor's reception was fantastic. We went from the mayor's reception up to the block party, which was a huge success.
What a night. Wow. Finally, we had good weather. This summer has been a little tricky on the events.
This is the first weekend, Saturday, that wasn't a rain out.
Yeah, the first one that we did in July was good, and we had a good turnout there, but then the rest of the weekends in July and August were really tricky. Yeah. It was either raining or forecast to rain. And it impacted our events.
We went to Trio for the block party to eat outdoors in that beautiful space that they have, and it was so well attended. It was so good to see it be well attended.
Absolutely. And what's rewarding is to see the families out there and the kids.
Yeah.
Such a great community event.
Yeah.
And people to kind of get to know Main Street, learn about Main Street, come on down, enjoy all the entertainment. We had somebody called Kilted Colin as our main act. I don't know if you had a chance to see any of it, Joey, but he was just fantastic. Up on a unicycle, about 10 feet high, juggling.
Crazy.
Very, very humorous act, and he just was such a crowd pleaser.
Who needs to go to Faneuil Hall when you can
Exactly right. So the talent now is national, and the block parties have a reputation where these guys want to come in.
Oh, wow.
They play places like Faneuil Hall and some of the big cities. Some of them truly are international. They want to come to our block party because it's become such a major event. It's really fun.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. The chamber is kind of. Did you guys take the reins on that?
Yeah. We've been doing that for the last few years. Partnered with the city, which we're very appreciative of. Carrie McKenna, of course, our events director. She leads that. It's just a tremendous job, and Sean Henry has been very helpful recently in helping us out with a lot of the logistics on the street, and a number of other people. It really takes a full team to pull those block parties off, and again, kudos to Carrie for doing such a great job.
It's fantastic. Did you get to take a look at the floats the special floats that they installed down at I4C2?
Yeah, I saw them.
Wasn't that cool?
Are they beautiful or what? Yeah,
Really cool.
And they can put big schooners on them.
So here's the thing. We heard, and I think I'm right about this, that Jim Davis gave the money for those floats to the schooner festival. And I gave a big shout out to him, but I think there was a lot of other people that were involved. Brett Ramsey, I guess, built them, and Peter Bent was instrumental in making it all work somehow or other. So I was remiss in not mentioning the other people. So Brett Ramsey and Peter Bent, kudos to you guys. I like to. I always feel like when the hotel. Now that the hotel is built, it gets the recognition that it totally deserves. Yeah. But that was a battle to get done. Yeah. And finally, I think people are understanding what kind of assets and thankful that we have people like Jim Davis investing in our city. Yeah. And here, once again, stepping up. He put all that money in to redo the track at the Gloucester High, the field at Gloucester High a couple years ago. Here he is stepping up, paying for the floats at the down off of I-4C2. Yeah. That's a lot of floats.
Yeah, it's a huge contribution. Beauport took the presenting position for Schooner Festival and really spent a lot of money. And it's a win-win. It's a win for the community and the event, and it's a win for Beauport because now that has international acclaim. Absolutely,
and that's why I really want to make sure that they get the kudos that they deserve, and that's why I'm mentioning them right now. Because it's easy to that some of the people that don't like to see so much development, they don't acknowledge how much these people do in our community. The Rudder, I had my last. I think unless I get there tonight, I had my last meal at the Rudder because they're closed for the season after this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seems early. Wow.
Yeah, it does seem early, but I think that now that they know that this, the things are going to slow down a little bit, and he has that other restaurant at the studio, so he's going to concentrate his efforts over there, and instead of having two staffs, he'll have one staff at the studio.
It's a sign of the ending of summer. Where did it go? It always goes so fast.
It really does. Because we have this embarrassment of riches of cultural fun things to do.
Indeed we do. And we're going to talk about the fall. So it's going right from an amazing summer into an incredible fall. The fall is going to be a great season for us, and we're going to talk about some of those events as well. Whenever it's appropriate, Joe, you let us know when you want to launch into the fall.
No, I'm ready. You have a bunch. We'll go in order as the way I have them listed in the show notes here. I have the Cape Ann low license plate auction is listed next. So can you speak?
Let's talk about that. Yeah. This is a huge deal. So again, it's being led by the Cape Ann Community Foundation, and Traci and myself are on the board of directors. It's a separate board from the chamber. It really is a separate organization from the Cape Ann Chamber.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's the Cape Ann Community Foundation is a 501c3 as required by the registry, and so it has a separate board of directors. Ruth Pino is our president, and we have representatives from all 4 Cape Ann communities, which is really wonderful. So the money that comes in from the license plate goes in to the Cape Ann Community Foundation and is managed by the board as to how that money then it goes back out to the community through grants. And as we've talked about on prior podcasts, there were 2 sets of grants so far. One this year was $12,000 and went to organizations like Art Haven, and several other very, very worthy causes. And last year there was $12,000 let as well to Action Inc., Backyard Growers, and Cape Ann Farmers Market. And so the plate is really, it serves 2 purposes. It allows us to show our love and pride at Cape Ann every day, and the proceeds gives back to the nonprofits and gives back to education, training and education. $3,000 this past year went to Manchester, Essex for a greenhouse project. And so all of the communities, all 4 Cape Ann communities benefited from the grants that were let this year. So the online auction. So the Community Foundation has reserved plates numbers 1 to 100. for this online auction, as is done by other license plate organizations. We're kind of taking a page from their book, and the auction is open through Labor Day, that Monday, the 3rd at 10 p.m. And we have.
Oh wait, when is it?
10 p.m.
On what day?
Monday, tomorrow.
Oh
Labor Day.
wow! So this is big. All right, I have to make. I'm gonna make a separate post as well to
Cool.
direct people there. All right, so it's www.ilovecapeann.com.
Love Cape Ann.
Love Cape Ann.
LoveCapeAnn.com.
All right.
You can Google that. Any way to get to LoveCapeAnn.com.
I'm gonna put
And so the top of that page is the link to the online auction.
Okay. So I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. I think that there's real value in numbers 6 through 9, because it's still a single digit,
Right.
but it's not crazy money to have a single digit.
Right. The minimums are half compared to 2 through 5.
Right.
So the minimums, I'll just quickly summarize that the minimum on number 1, which we have a bid on and we'll expect more, is $25,000. And we had that bid the first day. So we know there's high interest in plate number 1, and who wouldn't want to drive around with Cape Ann number 1? You know,
Right.
you only get one chance at this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be around forever as long as we're driving license plates around. So that's going to be a hot item. Then 2 through 5 have minimums of $10,000, and we have opening bids on plate numbers 3 and 5.
Wow.
And then it drops in half, as you say. So 6 through 10 is only $5,000.
Right. That's what I say. That's where I think. That's where I say the sweet spot is. I say the sweet spot is 6 through 10, 6 through. Really 6 through 9 in my head, because those are single digits.
Right.
For $5,000 and you have that plate into perpetuity.
Exactly.
Forever.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's big.
And then all of the other plates, with the exception of the double digits, like 11, 22, 33, all the other plates have minimums of $1,000. The double digits are $2,500.
So you can go there and you can check out. So now is the auction? Can people see the bidding live or no? Does that get updated?
Well, so I'm not sure, because we have administrator access. So I see certain things. I don't know if anybody can see the bidding.
Well, here's the question. So is it blind bidding then?
Yes.
Okay. Because the only reason I say that is if the person that has a bid right now on 25,000,
Yes.
if they could put in 25,001, and the other person doesn't know if they lost or not.
Nope. So it's so they're notified when the bids change, and so there are what are called watches.
Okay.
On a lot of numbers, there's almost 50 watches right now on the numbers, and so when you set up a watch, you're notified whether the bid changes or whether there's an opening bid on that particular number. And so you can see, and then you can go into the auction and you can see what the bids are.
Okay, so I'm going to slow down right now because I think this is very interesting. I think setting up watches for just even if you're a casual observer would be really interesting to see when there are changes, especially as it gets nears the end. What time on Monday does it close?
10 p.m.
10 p.m. So the magic hour between 9 and 10 p.m.
Exactly.
is going to be intense.
Right. And the plates have minimum bids. So to your point, is somebody going to bid $25,001? Can't. That has a minimum raise of $1,000.
Okay, so 26,000 would be the next bid.
Correct. The plates that are $1,000 minimums, they have minimum raises of $100.
Would they be able to bid at the last second, or does it? So here's the question, because I know some of these things have. If you bid, if say someone waits to 9:59 to put in a bid at 26,000,
right.
When that happens on certain auctions, they extend the auction out. It can't end within a minute.
That's interesting. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah.
You have to game it. You got to game it. This is all interesting to me.
So you probably want to put your bid in before the last minute, just to make sure.
So the link is in the show notes to bid, and I would suggest you go and you set up watches on your favorite numbers, and just to check it out, because I think it's going to be really interesting. It closes Labor Day night at 10 p.m. The bidding is closed.
And I think to set up a watch, I think you have to register.
Yeah.
So there is a step. You're going to have to put some kind of name or code name or something in there to set the watch up. Yeah.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
So you have the September 5th, the Businesswomen's Mixer at Captain Carlos?
Yeah. Our businesswomen's group continues to grow, and it's such a fun group of ladies. We had a sunset sale a few weeks ago on the Adventure, another perfect evening, and sold out the boat with 60 ladies out there, and it's going to be a wonderful time at Captain Carlos. They'll do a mixer usually every other month or so. And it's going to be a nice
so
fun
the
September.
mixer, the idea behind a Businesswomen's Mixer is
Social
networking.
That's
yeah,
exactly
and business
what it is.
networking.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, so I went to the low license plate number launch thing at Drift Cafe that night, and I was talking to Ruth Pino, and we made a connection on something that we're going to do together. It's really you meet and if you're a business person in town, you have these casual conversations. Things happen.
Exactly
Your
right.
business get benefits from showing up to these things.
Exactly right.
And you meet cool people that are
You run into people that too, like I have a daughter in school at East Gloucester School. I run into moms that I don't realize the other thing they do. You just see them running like a hairy, crazy person trying to get their kid to school.
Right.
Then you see them all dressed up like, oh, I have this other life.
Yeah.
And then you can connect on different levels. So it's really wonderful because we're all here, on the island, and everyone's multifaceted. So I find that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's you? Oh, I got that email from you? Oh my gosh,
Exactly. Great connections are made. Business after hours at Bravo in Manchester.
Then we go right into our main event. We do a networking event every month for our entire membership. Not to say that the guys couldn't go to the business women's mixers, but typically it's ladies. That's Bravo Pizza in Manchester, right where the train station is, and that's a wonderful place. They actually have great pizza and they have a bar. So
the best mixers are the ones where they have a bar. Yeah.
The only mixers are ones where we have a bar.
Right.
It really, it's a fun place, and she's doing a great job there. So we're happy to have our networking event there and in Manchester. Should be a nice night.
The $25,000 game.
That's our big game, Joey. You know that game.
That's a big. Is that? Where does that rank on your fundraising?
Second.
List?
So
Second,
our biggest is
behind the auction.
Yeah, our biggest is the auction by far, and then we do two big raffles. And the $25,000 game is our biggest raffle. We also have something called the Irish Sweepstakes, which we run in the spring. But the whole notion behind the game is 500 tickets. They're $100 a ticket. We give half of those proceeds away that night. We give away $25,000.
Don't you also have like a buffet or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
And that's part of the ticket.
Exactly right. So that's right. So it's at the Gloucester House, and it admits two. So you get a shot at winning a lot of money, and there's 12 prizes. There's 12 cash awards. The top one is $10,000, and then there's a $5,000, and then there's a $2,500, and then there's several $1,000 and several $500. So there's 12 chances to win.
Here's a question:
Yeah.
Is it count as a donation? Is it right? Can you write it off or no?
No, you
Okay,
can't.
just out of curiosity.
No, can't do that.
Do you have tickets with you?
No. But I could get
Ken,
them.
that every time you come when
the
that game
one
comes
day,
around,
Joey,
you're always fighting with someone else so you can get credit for selling the ticket.
I know.
And you knew you were coming here and you didn't bring a ticket.
Air, you're giving me grief.
I'm going to undress you right now. I'm undressing you.
As is
I'm going to call up Ruth. I'm going to have Ruth come now. I'm going to buy the ticket
boy.
from Ruth.
All right, I'm going to bring her back. I'm going back to the office.
No. You go enjoy the Screwfest, but no, just put me in for one. And
right,
when you get a chance, aren't you coming back to for something? The plein air.
We'll be back for plein air. Oh,
is
yeah.
the raffle, the $25,000 game, is that before or after the plein air event?
That is before.
Okay, so when you come back to promote the plein air,
bring in some
just
tickets.
Bring a ticket, and you could put, and I'll.
Actually, we'll have a few for you, Joey. You double your odds of winning if you buy two.
I'm buying one. So there you go. Tell me about Clamfest.
Clamfest, that is the big fall event, and of course it's in Essex, which is wonderful, our smallest Cape Ann community, and it highlights what Essex is so well known for, which is clams and clam chowder. And so that's the big thing at our Clam Fest.
So the Clam Fest, give me the premise. You buy a ticket and you get to sample different chowders?
Yep. So we do it within tennis courts. They have a tennis court area there. Last year we had over 1,000 people who buy. Their tickets were $5. There'll be a little more this year to help offset some of the costs. But we had 12 competitors. And
that's nothing. Wait, did you say $5 or
did.
a little bit more? So say you went to
more.
even if you went to 10, that's an unbelievable bargain.
It is truly a bargain to sample as much as you would like of 12 different chowders.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Everybody that you know of is there, including the Essex favorites. And
what's the date on that?
So that's August 20th.
Okay.
And we'll probably have a similar number of competitors because the same competitors like to be there over and over again because it is a great event and there is some desirability of being voted number one at the Clam Fest.
Marketing
we have
wise,
both a judges category and a people's choice.
Cool.
And so that's a lot of fun. That's going to be a great event.
We talked about the Cape Ann Plein Air
Well,
Columbus Day weekend. But yeah,
this is year 3.
It's
So.
awesome.
So I'm also on the board of Plein Air has been organized by kind of a loosely associated group of artists and the Cape Ann Chamber, and we're now forming a separate Cape Ann Plein Air 501c3, and that's being led by a wonderful local woman, Beth Palmer. She's our president. Susan Gould-Coviello is our project manager, and the Chamber's on the board, as are most of the arts organizations. So Sea Arts, North Shore, Rocky Neck, whether they're on the board or they're on our steering council, all of the arts organizations are involved.
Wow.
Cape Ann Museum, Essex Shipbuilding, they're all involved with this event. Which is one of the neat aspects of it is it has brought together the arts and culture community in a way that has not been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So now we all meet regularly, literally every other week, all year long.
Jesus. Well,
this is an all-year-long planning event.
So, Traci, the people come in, and there are people that travel around. These plein air events, it's not unique to just here. They have them all over the country.
Yes.
And some of the talent that comes in for ours is
incredible.
It's world class.
World class. And they encourage you to come out and kind of watch them do their thing. There's demonstrations, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else happens?
Well, the nature of plein air is that you're out there to paint a moment. You're out there to paint the light coming down from the sun at 12:02 or whatever it is. And that's hard to do, right? 12:02 goes like that. So you've got artists. It's almost like an athletic event where you're out there and you're like, all right, I am going to capture this moment. And they're painting fast. That's the way it works.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get to watch it. And what's I think is so exciting about it is that it's reestablishing Cape Ann and our area here in particular as a mecca for plein air, which it has been.
That's exactly right.
Going back to was it Henry or Fitzhugh Lane? Fitzhenry Lane.
Yeah, and all the way to the groupies and our current artists like Jeff Weaver. There's a Cape Ann look and a Cape Ann style in the plein air. And you're seeing it rekindled, and that look, then plein air style, you'll see in the international works that come in. Okay, so the event, the Cape Ann plein air event, goes from October 7th through the 15th. And what's really cool about it is it builds over the week. So you start by the artists come here. There are artists here by invitation. And then, of course, we have local artists that are invited, and then the community kind of rallies around it and joins in. We have demos throughout the week. We have all kinds of, there's an artist appreciation night on Thursday, October 11th, bringing in local restaurants. This will be at the studio. Friday, October 12th, there's a dinner with Gloucester House. So it's really nice how we're looping in other local businesses. And then at the end of the week, on Sunday, what's really cool is we have a quick draw event that loops in everyone. You can have local artists participate. We're actually talking about how to bring some young artists into this, maybe in Philly with Cape Ann Art Haven. And then, of course, at the end of the week and through the 15th, you'll be able to buy art.
That's the idea. Hopefully, so because such esteemed artists come and travel to this thing, it'd be really nice to come out and support them by purchasing their works.
Absolutely.
And with the quality of the artists that are coming, you kind of want it, right?
Absolutely. And so the main night is that Saturday, and in the past 2 years, this is year 3. It's been at Rockport Art, and that's worked out so well, but we want to move it around. And so this year it's going to be at North Shore Art Association, on the way to Rocky Neck, and that's a perfect venue for it as well.
We were just talking about that space. They just did their lettering on the building.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
how the building, and it looks fantastic.
Looks great. So prominent. Looks really good. And then the quick draw, which last year was in Essex, this year will be in Rockport.
Nice.
So we do try to involve, again, all 4 communities to the extent we can. So look forward to that week. It's a great week to highlight arts and culture here on Cape Ann. And there's a lot of other things going on in the month of October as well, which we'll talk about when we see you next for the Cape Ann Plein Air update. But the Artisans Fall Tour is that month as well, and a number of other great arts events.
Well, Traci, you wear many hats, but one of your hats is director at Art Haven.
Yes.
How long have you been director?
About a year and a half now.
How do you like it?
I love it. I actually came into the position because I had been with the organization about 5 years. I started out as a consumer, bringing my daughter there, and then quickly found out that I wanted to paint as much as she did, because I have for my whole life. And then a volunteer, a teacher, and then this opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
So it's really been wonderful to be able to work with all the different organizations and get a window into that side of Gloucester. I just love to be here. I moved here, as you know very well. My husband's from here and loved it just for what it is, the raw Gloucester. But now the people in the community, it's been amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love Art Haven. I between the lobster trap tree and so when I first got divorced, I had my daughters some certain nights and I don't want to just bring them home and have them do homework and go to bed. And I'd bring them to Art Haven, and I'd be with them, and they would get, claymate. They'd do the pottery wheel, or they would do something else, and it was always something different. These classes that they had for the kids, after school kind of classes, and it was it was a fantastic resource for me at a time in my life where I was, just trying to find what I'm supposed to do as a parent, as a guy that was just a worker, savage worker 24/7, And it's just such, the community aspect of Art Haven, it's so much more than just art. And I'm thankful for it. I think it's just such a treasure that we have here,
Well, I just want to jump in before I forget, because actually you've been such a supporter of Art Haven, and for us to be able to get the word out about our events and what we're about, just Good Morning Gloucester, and you personally have been such a huge help. So I just want to thank you for that, and the Chamber as well, Ken. Okay, so at Art Haven this fall after school, we're livening things up a little bit. We have great programs with pottery after school on Mondays. Tuesdays we have my drawing class, which I've added comic book drawing. Okay, and Wednesday we have a new program. We're doing some drop-off studio art. So you don't have to worry about, the kids will have access to all different craft materials on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then Thursdays we're doing something new. It's puppets and creature creation.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we have a puppet theater, and you can make all different kinds of puppets, but then also you can create plays. And we're finding kids love telling stories.
My daughter, I could just stop you for 1 second. My daughters, they're a little older now, so it's not be, but 3 or 4 years ago, to create the puppet and create a story and then do the presentation part, they live for that.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Well, we found that with the kids and with comic books.
Yeah.
So it's really great. And then the last thing I want to promote right now is we have a slime party going on the 28th of September. It's a Friday night. Drop your kid off, register online, because we have registrations already now. Because slime, if you don't know, if you're not in the 7 to 11-year-old set,
Big
it's
time.
the thing.
Yeah.
And so we'll have a couple of slime experts. One of them is a 9, well, she'll be 10 at that point, 10-year-old who knows all the ins and outs. And we're going to show a movie, because as much as slime is fun, you can only make so much slime. Make some slime, watch a movie. It'll be great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So all that information is at www.arthaven.com or .org?
Yeah, it's .org. Thank you. And and just a quick shout out to Kathy Kelly, our web designer, teacher extraordinaire. She's done a
amazing.
Lovely job keeping us in front of all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Joey, thank you. Great as always.
Thanks.
Take care. So I'd like to say thank you to Cape Ann Community Cinema. The cinema has their listings always at the top of Good Morning Gloucester. We'll put a link to their awesome programming at the top of the show notes here, and you can always see it at www.goodmorninggloucester.com. I just want to do a shout out to Warren Waugh in the Lion Waugh Auto Group, who in the Bluefin Blowout, which raised $155,000 for ALS, Alzheimer's, not ALS, Alzheimer's research. The Bluefin Blowout was an incredible success that just gets better and better every year. Thank you to Warren for being such a generous guy and putting on such a fun, family-friendly event. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the community organizations that participate in the site that I created, www.capeanncommunity.com. That is a site for local nonprofits, not businesses, not restaurants, not yoga studios, but local nonprofits to post their events and press releases directly. And once they do, the next day I scan that site and the posts get reblogged to Good Morning Gloucester. So I'd just like to thank the organizations that keep up with that. And, there's Cape Ann Museum, Cape Ann Art Haven, Traci's organization. There's quite a few that do take part of it, and it's something that I offer them for free. So you're kind of crazy not to have access, because that gives you access to our enormous readership on Good Morning Gloucester. I also started Cape Ann Eats for our restaurants that can post, and if you wanted to participate, if you're a restaurant that wants to participate in that, you can get a hold of me, and Cape Ann Wellness for those are for-profit corporate, either health, wellness, and fitness organizations to post, and then I repost them to Good Morning Gloucester. So check out those sites, and some exciting news to come. I'm going to be launching. Actually, it's really my wife's idea, Kate. CapeAnnHome.com, CapeAnnHome.com, and we're gonna feature anything. It could be as real estate companies, it can be mortgage brokers, it can be hardware stores, it could be people that do home renovations. A place Kate wanted to do this, and it's a place that they can advertise on. So if you're interested in that, get a hold of me. We're going to be launching that in a couple months, but I wanted to get some content going first. I hope you guys have a great day. That's GloucesterCast 295. Thank you, Traci, Thayne, Corbett, and Ken Reihl for coming in. I will also want to thank Susan Lipsett. She was here earlier. She brought her awesome Queen of Mons, but she won't. She's going back to her home in Atlanta, so we're going to miss her. Next week we get Kim back, I believe. Kim Smith will be back. Pat Dalpiaz will be back, and some other few faces. We're looking to get TJ Ciaramitaro, no relation to me. We're looking to get the Harbor Master on to talk about this week's Schooner Festival and some of the great things that happened. So if you know of any organization that has events coming up that they want to talk about, we'd love to have you on as guests on the GloucesterCast. We tape Sunday mornings. Subscribe, and you'll get this in your email box at the end of the day. I hope you have a great day, everybody. Take care.